Hello there. So today you can see I've got my messy apron on because I'm planning a messy project, and that is I am taking some fabric. I wanted a fabric that was striped but maybe an apricot color. I'm planning on making some new curtains. I bought 1 yard to check this because the fabric store guy who was in the city who was trying to sell me this fabric assured me I could dye it because I couldn't find it anywhere. So I purchased this dye because this is a polyester based fabric. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so as annoying as they are, I do believe in reading the directions with these kinds of projects. So I'm going to fill a pot with enough water to cover the fabric for it to swim freely, and then I will add the dyes. So just a heads up, not only do you want to wear an apron, thank goodness I thought to pack or put on some gloves, rubber gloves. Look how dyed they got just trying to open the packet, which by the way got all over the counter. It was easy to clean up, but glad I had the gloves. I have added both the color packet and the dye intensifier because I'm using a polyester. I may regret this. I don't want too intense a color, but we shall see. Go bold or go home, right? Oh, and do be sure to have your mitts handy. And I do not want children attempting this. Certainly not without adult supervision. Probably not at all. Okay, so they say to bring it to a boil first. I used hot water. It's definitely on high heat. It's not boiling yet. I've added the dye. I've added the intensifier. Look at how dark this fabric already is. They say to agitate it for half an hour to an hour. I don't know if I'm going to last that long. In fact, I don't want it too dark. The other thing is this is for a pound of fabric. I'm using way less than a pound. This fabric is lightweight. I could do this again with yards and yards of the fabric if I do end up deciding that I want to use this. And so I have a feeling I'm not going to last with this too long because I don't want it to get too dark. I know some of it will wash out, but boy, it's actually looking really cool. Of course, I'm using an old spoon too. Okay, as you can see, I've been doing this now, stirring. When they say agitating, they basically just mean stirring it. I've got an old wooden spoon here, but look at how intense this is, and I have not been doing this more than, I don't know, 6 or 7, maybe 8, no more than 10 minutes for sure. So I don't think I want to do 30 minutes to an hour. What occurs to me is that I can take this out, wash it. I'm going to keep the dye for now. If I need to continue to dye it, I will, but I do not want it to get too dark. Whenever you are dyeing fabric, you want to make sure you remember that if you want this to be washable, the dye will come out. You do not want to wash it with other clothing or anything else that could get ruined. So what I'm going to use, I'm not even going to put it in my laundry tub machine because I don't want to risk dyeing that. I've got an old-fashioned little Rubbermaid type tub here. I am going to just lift this fabric out. Obviously this is very hot. Remember, children are not doing this project. Adults may not even want to do this project. Okay, so I've got it in here. I'm going to add water. I'm going to add some gentle laundry soap. By the way, I must tell you that I have been using these. There's another brand that does a similar thing, but what I like is that they're literally little sheets. They are very eco-friendly. This is far better for the environment. Apparently, a huge problem of the plastics from our laundry detergent going in. So I've been using these. I do still have to treat my stains with things like spray and wash, but just throwing that out there. One more thing to note. I have been doing this probably not so wisely on a very hot day, and I have the windows wide open. I haven't turned on air conditioning yet because I don't know if there's any fumes that might be dangerous. So to be on the safe side, I'm keeping the windows wide open. Okay, so I am just rinsing this first, putting my gloves back on. You can see a lot of color is coming out right away into the tub. I may decide that I do want to go back and dye further, but for now, let me just spill this out. I'm not even adding any soap yet. I am just trying to rinse and see where we are. Wow, that is really looking pretty cool. Still looks very intense, so I'm glad I have soap, and I'm glad I took it out when I did. Adding the soap is literally as simple as just holding it under water. It dissolves. It's a little sheet that's a little bit thicker than a fabric softener sheet, and it just dissolves, and it's everything is biodegradable and earth friendly, so I like that. Of course, like everyone, I'm trying to reduce my environmental impact and trying to treat the earth as gently as I can. Okay, so I've just been mixing it in. I've got this sort of scrunching in the soapy water. I'm going, wow, this is really beautiful. I'm going to pour this out again. I'm going to keep rinsing, and then when it's I'm going to first rinse with the hot water, because remember, I want to get all this extra dye out there, and then later I can always add cold, and let's let you see how it came out. And then, as I said, I may have to re-put it in the dye, we'll see. Okay, so I washed this out several times. I even used another little batch of soap because it kept coming out. Let me show you where we are now. I keep putting on my gloves. Remember, my cooking pot is no longer for food. I'm going to have to get a different pot for food. Here's how it looks wet. This is after washing it out a lot. You can see the sheer part did not dye. The more solid sort of white stripes did. I'm going to dry it, and I will show you how it looks after that. Alrighty, I cannot believe how fast this is drying. I thought you might want to see. Now I'm going to have to iron it a bit. Let me show it to you one thickness through. But I think it looks pretty cool. I am definitely gonna check this out in my windows and see if it works.